Hello, hello. Welcome to this stream. Welcome to this week's stream. My name is Aurélien, and we will be talking about Fedora infrastructure applications. That's what we do every week. So yeah. Hello everyone. Let me finish my setup. I think the sound should be okay. Hopefully it's not too loud. If the sound is too loud, tell me and I'll raise it a bit. My screen is not aligned. Let me change that a bit. Okay. Should be better. Okay. Okay, so there's right. Screen is now in front of me. That's much better. Well, not in front, but you get the idea. Okay. Sounds fine. Okay, my page is up. All right, how's everyone? Hello, how are you doing, Falcon? That new thing on the wall at the back. Yes, it's not new, but you might not have noticed it before. It's a piece of fabric actually that comes from. It's an artist's view from the movie How to Train Your Dragon. Remember that? It's pretty cool. Love those movies. There's been like, I think 3 of them, and they're pretty good. Of course, the first one is always better, but yeah. Yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. It's pretty cool. Look it up if you haven't. Really like it. I really like it. So, welcome. I see the usual people. I might be able to have a larger view on this webcam right now. Not sure if there's a filter or so. How does it work? It does have a filter. Yeah, well, smaller is fine. Yeah. Anyway, so let me share my screen. Let's see what we can do today. I know we've been working on, well, my current stuff last week, which was working on Fedora Badges. And things have moved again. Well, not as fast as last week because I've been off for half of this week. So I started working on it again yesterday, only yesterday. But it's moving in a good direction. And let me show you what the status of this is, at least as a, so you get an update on what I've been doing. Console. So I'm gonna. There's 2 polling widgets on the video. Really? Huh? Did I? Oh yeah, I may have made a mistake by clicking on something where I shouldn't have clicked. What is this? Did I click on something here on the polling stuff? Or did I forget to close it maybe? I don't know. Black one on the upper, purple one on the... Weird. 2 polling widgets on the video. What is this? I see 2 polling widgets. That's new. let me try and fix that. Go to my extensions. Okay, I can do that. Okay, there should be only one. It's on overlay 1. I see something, but I'm really not familiar with the Twitch things. So okay, there should be one on the extension. Yeah, no, I'd like to get that sorted. No live poll. Okay, so maybe it has been installed on different places. Okay, I'm gonna try to activate it. How's this? Okay. Okay. Maybe they have made an update to the extension itself, and so there's a big purple thing on the left. I see that. What if I disable it? Right, so that's okay. Interesting. Okay, so let me finish this transaction, otherwise Epsilon is going to time out. Yes, of course, the transaction is expired. Oh yes, of course, I'm not using the right one. It's the staging number. All right. Okay, so now let me get back to OpenShift. Okay, the extension should be gone now, I think, in theory. All right. Okay, they're both gone. I don't know how to get only one of them up, but I'll try to find a way and figure it out somehow, someday. Okay, let me go to badges. So that's what I've been working on last week and this week. So Badges has, I don't know if you're familiar with the Fedora's implementation of badges, but there's a front end where you see your badges and you have the Hall of Fame and all that. And there's a consumer that listens to events happening on the infrastructure. And that's, of course, using the message bus. And awards badges to people depending on rules that have been defined with artwork and all that. And those rules are the actual badges. So there's something that reacts to events, the consumer, and there are also a few cron jobs, CJ here, that trigger regularly to award badges on things that are not related to an event. For example, how long you've had an account in the Fedora infrastructure, in the Fedora account system. There's also one that updates the list of rules that is in a repo currently. And yeah, those have been the last ones I just fixed. I think I fixed them, and I can try to create a job. So a cron job, so in OpenShift you have cron jobs and you have jobs. A cron job is something that creates a job at regular interval. Yeah, that seems obvious, but it actually is obvious. So here you see the cron jobs, you don't see the jobs themselves. And on the command line, you have an option to create a job from a cron job, which is what the cron job does at regular interval, and you have a way to do it manually. So right now, I'm not sure whether I can do that with this. Apparently not. That's too bad. It would be useful to have that in the UI. I'll do it on the command line anyway, because I could do add maybe. Nah, definitely not what I want to add. That's the builds, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not sure I can do that. It's fine, I'll do it on the command line. So, let me show you that. That's not on this one. It's definitely not on this one. It should be somewhere here. You can probably not see that. I'll try to zoom in a bit. How do you do that? Zoom in. I'm guessing this. Oh, yes. Okay, so in OpenShift, you can see there's a lot of jobs here that have been created from the cron job, and I'm going to create one. No, 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 definitely not. Yes. Right. So, except it's going to be called, it's on the badges project. It's going to be a build. I'm going to create the job from the cron job called, which one is it? Award lifecycle. That's the one. And I'm going to name it Award lifecycle first run. Or manual. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, I've created the job, and now I can look at my jobs. So there is one here, Award lifecycle manual. I'm going to look at the logs. And it's breaking. Search does not have a parameter group. Okay, that's probably because my fastJSON instance is not up to date, maybe? Let me look at that. Because that's a change. I'm using a feature that I have added only very recently. Sound like a dumb question. What's the app that allows you to type something and search in your pastries for soup? Okay, I think that's FZF. I think that's the one, yeah. So I think it's called FZF as in fuzzy search, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna try and look at that up. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, and you can install it. It's in Fedora as a package. DNF install FZF, and that should be it. Yes, it's called FZF as a package. Yeah, somebody on the chat mentioned that to me actually the other day, well, a few months ago. And hello, Lissab, how are you doing? And so I've been using it since. I think it's really cool. There's just one thing that I'm hesitant about, and that's when I'm doing live streams, because it displays my whole history. And sometimes there are things in my history that I may not want to show on a live stream because there might be passwords in there. I try not to do that, but you know, that sometimes it happens. So if you're the only one looking at your screen, then it's all good. So I've just updated Fedbadges recently. So I should be able to make this call here, and there's something wrong here. And okay. Well, yeah, it shows the length on the password. That is correct. I think the length is sufficient to discourage people to crack my password. It does have a bit of entropy, definitely. But yeah, you're right. It does show the length. And there's also I have two-factor authentication, so that makes it a bit harder. But yeah, you're right. So I've made a change to Fedbadges recently, and my thinking, in theory, it should have let me use some new search options. But apparently it doesn't work. So I'm gonna use the debug command here to create a pod just for this usage, using the definition of the cron job award lifecycle. So it's gonna give me a container, and I could run that, and it would show that there's a problem, right? So I'm gonna try to. So it says search does not have a parameter group. Really? It should have, really. Let me please show me the parameters, the available parameters, right? Okay. Yeah, of course I use space instead of tabs. All right, goodbye. Yeah, it's actually recommended in the Python world. It is very rare to see Python program using tabs instead of spaces. They do recommend to use 4 spaces for indentation. And I think that's what all the tools that I've seen will enforce that. Maybe not enforce, but at least warn you if you use tabs. Python will actually accept if you use tabs instead of spaces, but like the recommended way of writing Python programs is using spaces. All right. Yeah, I don't know if there's one that is much better than the other, but it's at least there's a standard, and also spaces survive the cut and paste much better when it goes to online forms, for example, you know, that sort of thing. Okay, so I see parameters here. There should be one about groups, but maybe not. GitHub username exact. What's this? It doesn't. Okay, that's interesting. But can I still... say search users group equal what group can I use? Something that is not too gigantic. Come-ups? In the KDE6, they force me to switch from tab to spaces. Makes my OCD very unhappy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess when you're used to something, that's always what you would prefer. There's also in Python there is a pretty formatter called Black. Great name, by the way. It's a reference to the Ford Model T that came in any color that you wanted as long as that color was black. So the idea is that it would reformat your code to meet some standards. It will convert tabs to spaces, I think. And it can also convert double quotes, well, single quotes to double quotes. Because like for strings, you can use single quotes or double quotes in Python, and it's pretty equivalent, pretty much the same thing. No difference of meaning as in Bash, for example. And Black will change all your single quotes to double quotes. And that made some people very unhappy. Well, you can disable that, but that's cheating. Okay, so FastJSON doesn't understand group. Well, I'm very surprised. Let me check that. That's weird. It shouldn't. How they handle multi-line comments. Well, there isn't any multi-line comments to my knowledge. Oh, that's, yeah. So the triple quotes, it's not really a comment. It's what they call a doc string. So no, I think it's group. I think all the parameters are singular. So the triple quote is not really a comment thing. It's what they call a doc string, which is documentation pretty much. Okay, let me get to the docs. Search. So it's not really a comment. It's more something that is going to be extracted. It's actually, you can actually see those doc strings as the property of the method when you're examining it, and you can use that to build up the documentation. So yeah, it's a bit different. Well, you're right, there is no groups here. How come? Didn't it rebuild? I thought it would rebuild it. Wait, what is this? What is the code running in this VM? I'm surprised. It shouldn't be that. So, wait a minute. Sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Add multi-valued group search term for users. It's right here. wait, this makes no sense. Web resources, search. Do I have the group there? Yes, I do have the group right here. Search request, parse document, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I am on the staging branch, right? Yes. And so in this, why? What the hell is this? That's not the right code. Huh. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's all good. Thank you. Not global then. Yes. Not a Git directory, are you crazy? Wait, what? Okay, let me do this manually then. What's my head? It's 4C46. Okay, so there's something wrong. I'm pretty sure that's going to be... Nah. Okay, so there's something wrong with the way this is built. It should be using Dockerfile, the Dockerfile right here, and it's not. So copy. I don't get it. What's going on? So that's the build. That's the logs for the build of the container. Okay. So I'm checking it out. Add a note about blah blah blah. Okay, that's the correct commit 873DC. Yeah, that's the correct commit. Okay. So what is it doing then? Installing stuff. That's all good. Installing dependencies. Blah blah blah. Lots of dependencies. Ah, okay. And then run python-m opt venv. Okay, fine. Install poetry. Okay, cool. Do it. Oh. Well, that failed. Okay, so copy. Huh. Okay, so the build failed. That's why it's not running. It's running the old version. Okay, so we need to fix the build of this before we can do something else. Found existing installation of markup safe. Okay, so it's trying to install markup safe because it's not the right version. No, that's definitely not what I want to do. So what's wrong with this? Oh, it's installing a lot of stuff. OpenLab client, that's fine. Vim, oh, we have even Vim, nice. IPA client, okay. Right, so I suppose that it's installing Poetry. Yeah, that's not great. I mean, the way it's working right now is, yeah, so it's installing on all these dependencies, which is fine. And then it's installing Poetry in the opt-venv virtual environment. Yes, that's not fantastic. Yeah. Because it's not really cool to have Poetry installed in the same virtual environment as the rest of your application. Okay, you know what? What we're going to do is we're going to install Poetry right here. The reason we haven't done that before was because Poetry was at an older version of than what we wanted. Python 3, okay. So now I'm gonna use just run Poetry. Don't create a virtual environment. And there's also another environment variable that I need to set. I need to set virtual env equal opt venv. And now when I run that, it should only install Poetry. It should install stuff in the venv environment. Right. Okay, cool. Fix the Docker. It's called, I shouldn't write Docker Docker build because otherwise the Podman people will hate me. And it's actually not using Docker anyway, so. All right, so that's done. I don't even know how to build a container myself. Probably I want something. I want to be able to tag it, right? I guess that's gonna work. Let's see if that works. Before we commit, we push that to the upstream repo and trigger the rebuild in fastJSON on OpenShift. Hello to everyone who joined. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I've been rabbit holing a little bit on this. So in theory, once I have, once I have this running, In Fast.json, you'll be able to query people, to search for users by limiting their group names. And I don't really have any insider info on how Fedora 40 is progressing. I just know that we are in freeze infrastructure-wise up until the release of Fedora 40. So in theory, the beta was published, and you are very welcome to test it, because the more people test the beta, of course, the better the final release will be. As far as I know right now, it should get on time. Fedora 40 should be on time. But, it's better to skip the release for a week or two than to publish something terrible. But no better insider info than this. Or maybe I do, and I can tell. No, actually I don't. All right, it's copying the files. That's a lot of files to copy. There should probably be a docker ignore file somewhere. I hope there is, because otherwise that's a lot of, that's a long time. Takes a long time to copy. I would prefer if there wasn't, So ignore file, .container ignore. Okay. Container ignore is a level 5 man page. Okay. So I definitely want to ignore anything related to talks. Coverage, clearly not something that I want to keep. Actually, I should just, copy the whole thing. I hope it has some sane defaults. Yeah, it shouldn't take that long to copy the files. It means that there's way too much. What else do I not want to copy? Well, certainly those files. Yeah, certainly those as well. Okay, let's try that again. Found incomplete layer. Yeah, hopefully it's gonna start. Yes, it does start at the previous layer. Okay, that's much better. The copy is much faster. Of course, that's only an issue when I build it locally, because when I'm building that in OpenShift, it comes from a fresh clone of the repo, so it doesn't have all this craft. So this poetry install -- only main command makes sure that it doesn't install the development tools there's development dependencies and main dependencies, and that's only the main dependencies. All right. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now that's done. It actually worked, so I can commit that. I'm gonna add the docker ignore file to the previous commit, just to be sure. I'm pushing it to the repo and merging it in staging. Pushing the staging branch, so it should trigger the rebuild in staging. All right, now if I go there, I have the build that is running, that has been running for 17 seconds now. Okay. So it is building, and I certainly want to have a look at that. Make sure that the build doesn't fail. And when the build succeeds, then it's going to deploy the new version, and we'll have an access to the new query string query element. Installing the dependencies, that is good. I just merged an update to the cryptography dependency, by the way. That was a security issue. If you're using that in your projects, make sure that you have updated it. Compiling times. Always the best time for some drinks. Finishes too soon. Okay, it's pushed, so that means that it's going to be running pretty soon. Development is running. So it is scaling up my new deployment, which is 19. And once that's done, it's going to roll down the 18, which was the previous version. All in the magic of OpenShift. Let me check on the web UI what that tells you. If I go to fastJSON here, right, it says, okay, there's a monitoring alert. That's probably because the build failed before that. Builds, they're complete. What's the situation with this one? There's one pod. Okay, it succeeds. It succeeds. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now let's have a look at my documentation for the running version of Fast.json. Search, and it has group. Okay, so now it has group. All right, so I can use that. So I'm gonna go back to my award lifecycle container. And I'm gonna run it. And we'll see if it breaks again. Boom! Expected list of type. Yep, my mistake. Okay, so definitely, it should definitely be a list here. So that's my mistake. Where's my code? That's it right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So lifecycle, the lifecycle script is this one. And my group argument is a string. Well, it should be a list of strings. Let me actually put that in a variable. In a constant. So that's easier to find. Okay. Okay, it should be good now. Let us see in Fedbadges. Huh. Yeah. Pushing it. I don't think there's a trigger at the moment that rebuilds the Fedbadges container. So I'm gonna run it. Start build Fedbadges. Is it pushed? It is pushed. Build it. And let's follow that. Let's see in the UI if I see something nicely animated or not. I'm always curious. Okay, so there's that. Do I see build? Ah, there's something here. There's a build running. That's interesting. And I have this. Okay, that's nice. So it does show me that there's a build running. It gives me suggestions about things that I could add, such as health checks. Indeed, the consumer doesn't have a health check at the moment, so that's something that I might consider adding. But really not high priority. I mean, there could be an open port somewhere that would respond with HTTP requests for health checks. I just haven't written that. It could be something that I put in Fedora messaging itself, so that all consumers benefit from it. Yeah. Not a very high priority, but it would be cool. And it would only show you that the consumer is healthy if it has started consuming messages. Yeah, that would make sense. Anyway, So where is the build like? Oh, that's so it is. Okay. Okay. Pushed. Okay, let's have a look at the deployment for that. It's called consumer. Well, I could see that in the UI, right? Yes, it's being replaced by the new version. Is it running already? Wow, that's fast. Nice. Okay, so now that I have this, let's have a look at the award lifecycle cron job again. See if we can actually run the command without it crashing. See if it's actually fixed. Okay, let's run it. Ooh. Okay. It does not like the way that I've passed the... Oh, okay. Well, I've done a little bit too much here. So I thought that I need to serialize the timestamp, but I don't need to do that. So that's good. So I've serialized it myself with ISO format here, but apparently I don't need to. Let's pass it like this. Does it work? Oh. Okay. All right, it is working. So it's awarding badges right now to people because they are recent enough, I should say. Okay, so that works. Very good. What did we do? Just remove this. Well, that's pretty much exactly the same thing that I did in the last commit, so. Let's overwrite it, fix the query types, so we don't really pollute our history too much. Of course, that means force pushing. Is it going to fail? It doesn't. Okay. I haven't set the protection for the branch right now, but that's... Oh yeah, no, that's not... It's a Fedora messaging branch, so it's a separate branch. Okay, so that's good. See, it's awarding badges to people. That's very cool. So egg is for people who have been here for more than a year. So yeah, definitely there's going to be a lot of people here. I think that this has been broken for years, probably. So I'm happy to see it running again. And the embryo badge is going to be for people who have been there for more than 2 years. Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, definitely, definitely old. And Carol as well. Okay. I know some of these people. They've been here for more than a year, I can tell you. So this has been broken for a while. That's good. It's running again. Okay, nice. Very nice. So what else is running? I can't really stop it here. Or can I? Maybe I could stop it here. I can just restart it. It's fine. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to get a chance to make badges work again. It's the idea is cool, and the implementation leaves a bit to be desired nowadays because it's been developed more than about 10 years ago. And a lot of things have changed in between that it really hasn't been adjusted to the changes in the infrastructure. So it needs quite some work. But there's a lot of badges that are cool there with good artwork, and yeah, I'm happy to get that working again and maybe get some traction around it. Maybe it'll interest people to contribute to it. Give it some new feature to be able to award badges in other situations, not situations, but like on other type of events. Would be really nice. Yeah, what else? Also Ryan has been working on the UI Terrier. Well, not the UI. He's been working on the web front end. So it's gonna work again. I don't think it's working right now. I mean, I could bring it up and log into it, but I think it uses the wrong email address. So I don't want to create another account for my user. That would be useless. All right, what else? Yeah, it's gonna start working again. That's pretty cool. Yes, what else? What else is broken at the moment? There's award lifecycle. That's the one we're working on. And there's what's that? Award membership, group membership. Oh yeah, that's a change. So what was the problem with this one? Show me the. There used to be show me the logs for this one. List group, yes, I fixed that. I should have fixed that, so yeah, I think I fixed that. So I'm gonna try to run it manually as well, and we'll see if we get somewhere. But this is long, I'm gonna leave it running. What else do I have? No, not this one. Let's get to OS control, of course. There. Right, so that one is called award group membership. Show me the cron jobs. Debug based on award group membership cron job. All right. And now I'm going to run that command and see if it breaks. So this should award badges to people who are member of some groups. And we'll see if we get any of them. So this one is called group membership. That's in the group membership thing. Okay, processing, there's a debug. It doesn't log. Oh yeah, it does log. Awarding ambassador to blah, 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 blah. Okay. This must have been broken for so long. And award badge is in utils, and utils logs it, right? Yes, it does log it. Okay, so it is awarding badges to people. That's all the ambassadors. They're going to get a new badge. Well, that not really. This is just in staging. So. Come up superstar. Council member, Pixel Ninja. Pretty cool. Oh, incredible that Tatika didn't have Pixel Ninja already. No longer a Ronin. Misk? Mad DM. Okay. When it's awarding a badge to Mad DM, you know that it hasn't been awarding badges for a while. Oh, Rock the Web for Patrick Otavike. Kevin. There's even badges being awarded to Kevin. S. Gallagher. Steve Gallagher. Well, it's awarding Proven Packager to me. Yep, I suppose. Okay, so I suppose that those didn't have any badges because it was it's in staging, right? So, or maybe it does award badges. Well, it's trying to award the badge, and it doesn't tell you. Yeah, it's possible that the add assertion thing fails silently if the badge has already been awarded. I'm not sure about that. So it may be logging everything that it can do, but not actually awarding them. Anyway, the thing is, it's working. That's what counts. Okay, so those two cron jobs are now working with those two red ones. Or they will be as soon as the cron triggers again. So I think that the state of badges at the moment is a bit better than what it is in production right now. So as soon as Ryan is happy with the front end, I think we can think about deployment. The infrastructure is in freeze right now, so nothing is going to happen before Fedora 40. But once Fedora 40 gets released, then I think it's going to be the right time to update badges in production as well. I think that would be very cool. Okay. It's still awarding badges to people. Girl who lifts. Nice. Okay. So what else do we have? Okay, let me get back to this. It's 4 here. I still have an hour. So there's been changes to a few applications because people from the Outreach internship have been working on them. So yeah, so what do I see in the Fedora Infra repo group? That's still a sign that is still assigned. Let me check that it's not waiting for a review on my part. A lot of people wanted to work on that. In which language are we going to create the endpoint? In which folder? Yeah. Well, in which language? That's well, it's a Python application, so yeah, I'll get back to that later. How to get, that's documentation. Okay, let me check that it's still valid. I'll send the PR soon. Okay, cool. Improve the usage documentation. Okay, yeah, I've seen this one. Fed image, that's deprecated. Fed message, it's dying, if not dead already. This one, same thing. FMN. Signed. Yeah. Okay, there's something here that I could do. Okay. I did a chain. Yeah, that's not. Yes. So it must have a changelog fragment. Does it have a changelog fragment? I would not think so, because it's only one file change, so it doesn't have a changelog fragment. Those checklists are pretty cool. I think it's very useful. I should probably put them on every project. Documentation, well, not really. That doesn't apply. Tests, well, not really. Screenshot, no. DB migration, there aren't any. Okay. I can just merge it. I don't think that requires a news fragment. I mean, that's really a small change, so I'll just merge it. I'll rebase the branch, and if it passes tests again, I'll merge it. Okay, what else? That's also documentation. Ooh, what's going on? Woohoo, that's way too fast. Okay, that's also documentation. Okay. Okay, you need to run npm install in the front-end directory and then blank. Okay, so I'll ask them what's up with this later on. Free APFS, add a contributor file. Use a GitHub action to update the contributors files whenever there's a new contributor. That's actually a good idea. That is actually a good idea, but that means that the GitHub action is going to edit and send a pull request maybe for this file. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Update. Okay. What else is there to do? Terrier. Okay, so there's some bugs here, but Ryan is working on it at the moment. Badger server, that's gone. Well, it's not gone, but yeah. Bugs last fed message. Okay, that's still open. That's still open. I can give it a try. That's okay. We'll make the fetch and call store the fast username in the message dictionary. Then the schema just had to read it. Yes, that was 3 weeks ago, so I think that's a bit too late now. But I could work on that. I think that's something that I could work on. That's about having the main application make a fast JSON call when it receives a message from Bugzilla, and store the fast username in the dictionary, right? And then the schema would just read it. That's basically what I'm just repeating what I just wrote. Okay. That's something that I could work on. Maybe not today though. Maybe for next time. Okay, packet support. I think that is done, but I'm not sure. Somebody, Michal from my team has been working on that recently. So I've made some changes I've made some changes 2 weeks ago, but I don't think it has packet. I don't think packet works now. Dot packet. Yeah, it doesn't have packet. So yeah, that's something that could be added. Still valid. It's still valid. Convert to Fedora messaging. But that's definitely done. Yeah, that's definitely done. Let me find which element, in which commit it was done, and I will reference it. Migrate Fedora messaging, that's the one. Done in okay. So that's done. Moat. Peg your exporter. Do that. And add support for update or create. Yeah, that's all something that I could work, that I could do maybe next time. Yep. Right. I could do that next week, maybe. Seems fair. Okay, so this is still running. It's gonna run for a while. Yeah, it's logging a warning egg too, but I think it doesn't exclude people who already have the badge. So it's logging everything. That would explain why it's. It would explain why it's not. Why it's logging something that than people that I know have been there for much longer than that. How could that be done better? Well, I could have a look at Terrier. I haven't really looked at that. I think it's in Terrier API. So Terrier API. DB API. Okay. And it's called what? Add assertion? How's it called? Add assertion. Right. New assertion. Return personal email. Oh, that's the API is bad. Okay, that's really not good. So it either returns the personal email and the badge ID or false, right? So we could do something better here. Each time there's an add assertion command, being done. For example, here. Oh, that's not the one. That's the one. Okay, so it's time it's doing this. I'm going to look at the result. So here I'm going to log differently. Instead of logging for every case. Oh wait, it does have assertion exists. Huh. So, okay, so it does have assertion exists. Which means, so I am checking for assertions. Which means that it's actually logging, wait, what have I done? Yeah, so I am checking for assertion when doing award badge. In all these. Fedora badge username. So that's actually people who didn't have their badge. Okay, that's impressive. Yeah, that's really not a good API. You don't do this. You don't return something that is widely different. I mean, that's You don't return false like this. You raise an exception if there's something wrong, but you don't. Anyway. Okay, that's good. So that's actually people who are being awarded a badge. That's crazy. That's a lot of people. Anyway, that's all those. Well, maybe that's because it's running in staging and people don't have a lot of badges in staging, or maybe that hasn't even ever been run in staging. Still pretty impressive. Okay, I'm not going to wait for all that to finish, but I think this is one of the final nails in, well, not a nail, but, or the final electroshock to revive badges. And hopefully it's going to be running better now. But I think its state right now in staging is still better than the current production state, so yeah. I'm going to merge the branch, this Fedora messaging branch, and in theory, and then yeah. Not right now, because there might still be things that I want to tweak. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff. Thanks. Yeah, see you on the next on the next stream. See you, and have a good weekend. See you, Lisa. Okay. Okay, so this has rebuilt. Right, so it's now updated and it passed CI, so I'm just gonna merge it. Done. And it's merged, well, not now, but it should be merged pretty soon. Is it merged? Yes, it's merged. Okay. That's definitely something that I can work on next time. I'm gonna put that in my text file. You know, I have a text file of things that I can work on. And maybe I'll go back to having showing different issue and offering to vote on what I'm working on. Okay, so that's done. That's all done. And what was the other one? Yes, that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm gonna stop there, I think. I have everything that I need to do for next time. This is running, this is gonna work, this is gonna work. Good. The build is fixed. Oh, did I push the change in Fast.json? I think so. Yeah, I did, since it's rebuilt. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there. All right, any questions on all that, or on the Fedora Infra, or applications, badges? Mirror Manager is also what I'm working on. Oh, I'll show you some pretty statistics. So that is the current staging version of Mirror Manager. It's still the same UI in some ways, except on the propagation page. Click it, please. Yes. Okay, so that's the propagation for all the that's all the repo that we monitor for propagation. We basically monitor the x86-64 because that's the main ones. And then if there's a repo, if there's a host that doesn't have x86-64, in the current version, in the production version right now, we ignore it. And I chose to not ignore it, but instead offer the supervision of those repositories separately. But like the main one would be Fedora 39. So I click here, and that's the propagation statistics for Fedora 39. So you see that regularly we make a push to, we push some files, some new packages. And when we push the new packages, suddenly there's a lot of repos that are synced to the version of the package that we had the day before. And then it slowly grows back to very few as time passes and as they sync their package lists to, as they sync their package to the current version. And there's still some, so red is sync -1 day, orange is sync -2 days, and the yellow one is older than 2 days, right? So you see our pushes and how it's being 4 hours. I think we're running this every 4 hours. That's still the case. Yeah, it's running every 4 hours. Okay, so you see, yeah, you see the speed at which it's propagating across the mirrors. That's pretty cool. And that's for Apple 9. So for Apple 9, it's pretty much the same thing. We push a change to the repo and then whoosh, mirrors catch up to it. Slowly but surely. Same for Apple 8. Except there's less pushes, of course. Apple 7, well, Apple 7, there's still pushes and they're catching up slowly. Well, at the same speed, basically. And see, that's also the very regular pushes to Fedora 38, etc., etc. For center stream, it's a bit different. It's not working the same way, I think. There's definitely a push at some point, and then, but I don't think I have recorded the timestamp of the other. Yeah, there might be something wrong with this, but it's still, yeah. That's a good way to see the statistics. All right, that's the development version of Mirror Manager that I'm working on, and I'm gonna push that to production hopefully sometime after Fedora 40 hits, because yeah, you definitely don't want to change that when Fedora 40 hits, that's for sure, but rather in the middle of a release. All right, what else is there to show? I don't think so. I don't think there's much more. I have also been working on Fedora messaging a little bit, but that's another story. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there, and I'll see you next week on the next stream. Unless there's something urgent that you need me to have a look at. Okay. All right, that's fixed. Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, that was. I hope that was interesting. I hope you have a better idea of where we're at with badges, and you see that things are progressing. So that's always good. And yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for passing by, and thanks for watching this stream. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.